Missing a week, but I tell you, life can be a roller coaster. It can be up and down, and sometimes in life you lose the ones you love. And today, I just wanted to come back to let you guys know the only reason I missed last week is because my father passed last week due to COVID, and it's been a tough week. It's been a really tough week for the family. But I tell you, honoring him is really exciting when I think about how to honor a father, right? You put a father in your heart. And when I saw him laying there for the last time, I told him while he was laying there, I got it from here, right? Because we don't know the day nor the hour, but I will tell you what you do know. You know what your father wanted to accomplish. And if he don't do it, then the bloodline must continue to do it. And he will be truly, truly missed because he was the life of every party. Every part of me comes from him. And now I'm on the other side of it to where I am at the front of that bloodline. So I look forward to carrying the duty. I don't know if I can ever walk in my father's shoes, but I'm gonna give it one heck of an effort. But to everybody who sent out their condolences, I thank you, I appreciate you. But me and my family is dealing with it the best we can. And I got a great support team. I got a great people around me that's just absolutely incredible. And the homegoing for him was absolutely incredible. The things people had to say about my father. With that being said, listen, we're going to transition the show. I'm really excited for everybody who's been joining into the show and really paying attention to the show. And, always trying to get better, always trying to do better, always trying to figure out how do we help people, right? How do we inspire people to find to find their best selves? And it's interesting because this next guy that I'm about to bring on, many people have heard of him, but he's been my trainer for over 20 years. And the things that we went through together, him even being with my father, right? When we got my father in shape and and had him doing this jump workout, it was the funniest thing ever. But without further ado, I wanted to introduce not only my brother, my best friend, a person that I walked through life with for the last 20 years, the man himself. Everybody else call him Monte Sanders. I call him Coach. Coach, what is going on, my brother? It is a blessing to have you on today. It's exciting to be with you, brother. And
thank you, brother.
Yeah, man. Yeah, brother. Just give a quick few remarks about Pops and then we'll kind of jump into it. Yeah.
First of all, man, I think back to when y'all mended, when you decided that in this walk, forgiveness have to be a part of my journey.
Yeah.
I was there when that was rough for you because you were remembering some of the things that happened when you were young. But brother, we worked out, we prayed, and you found his number, you got his number, and you called him, man. And when he came with us, seeing the joy on his face, and the only thing you talked to him about after y'all got together, took a long ride in North Carolina, y'all decided that you wanted to be in his life forever and vice versa, that Pops, you need to get in shape. And just so happened that off season, we were filming some workouts and he was like, I want to be in it too. And I'll never forget, he was 51 years old and he got in shape, and the stories and the bond that y'all had formed even after that, man, that's what you take with you. So I know one thing for sure, Pops was proud of you.
Yeah.
When he started coming to those games, he had a swagger like no other. And for those of people that knew him, they knew Pops. He was such a powerful presence.
Yeah.
But I told people he is the only person I know in life that his presence is bigger than yours when he walk in the room. So when I see you, I see a part of him. And take that bloodline, man, and take that greatness with you into the rest of your life.
Bro, that's the one thing, and you remember this, that's the one thing I remember the most about being able to give him those moments regardless of what happened in the past. And to that last Super Bowl run, to know my daddy was sitting there and to watch him raise that fist in the air, I knew that I had to complete that with all of my all of my sons and daughters, and everybody was there, man. So to know that he got that, and just to know, T, that I gave him that life. I gave him the life that a father and son should have. Brother, I appreciate you for being there. We walked through a lot together, but man, there's so much for us to do together, and we have a philosophy, right? And we want to share this philosophy. And Coach, I want to jump right into it because you have something very, very, very special coming out. And I want to speak about it because we lived it. Now you wrote it. And the good book says, write the vision and make it plain. And you made it plain. Coach, tell me about your new book that's on its way out next week, right?
No, today.
Today.
The book launched today.
Yes.
And the name of the book is The Power of You versus You, Aligning Your Mind, Body, and Spirit to Discover and Fulfill Your Purpose. And brother, I just had to put our philosophy, some of the things that we've done, I had to put it on paper, because truly, when you get to the point that we are in life, you understand all the things that benefited you are not just for you. And it's so important that we share them with other people, whether you're male, female, you're on a team, you're just a teacher, you're a mother. It's for everybody. And it forces you to take a look within. I remember when you wrote in my foreword, in one of those paragraphs, you said, when I met Monte in 2001, you was dealing with a standstill spiritually.
Yeah.
And we always been physically strong.
Yeah.
But at that point, we both were spiritually, we needed help. And so our philosophy of training is mind, body, and spirit. A lot of people are strong physically, but are dead spiritually.
Yeah.
And a lot of people love their intellect, but they don't love their bodies the same. And so what our philosophy is somewhat an approach of going on the inside out. And the book, The Power of You versus You, forces you to take a time out and look within, self-assess yourself. Are there some things that I need to improve upon? What is it that I'm not doing to make myself better? And so it's an ongoing journey. We're still becoming, although we've been at it for 20 years, it's a journey with no port at the end. We're always becoming, and there's no finish line. So our philosophy was mind, body, and spirit. And it's almost like after Pro Bowls and all those things that we accomplished, for you individually, you know, being NFL Defensive Player of the Year. And then as we grew spiritually, we started to ponder, what else could we do besides win a championship? What else could we do besides go to a Pro Bowl? And those are the things that the reason why you have this show now, still continue to dive into your purpose. And so, brother, it's about time that we share this philosophy with people so that they become more balanced in their life.
Brother, you know you get me excited now. I get these goosebumps, like ready to go in this weight room again now. we done ran our race now.
It's exciting, man, because your purpose gives you energy.
It
gives you
passion. It really does. It really does. And you know what's interesting? What's interesting is our philosophy has never changed, right? How do we change one life a day? Right? That's it. One life a day. And so go into the book a little bit. Give me if you're picking up You versus You, Monte Sanders, voted America's best trainer last 2 years in a row, right?
Thank you.
Yeah. So I mean, we're talking about what we've accomplished, right, throughout these 20 years. This book has the secret, and you know this, so I want you to tell the people. Everybody has this ability. Every person has this inside of them. What are some of those principles inside of the book? Even though I know it, I know a lot of the principles. But I want you to tell somebody else, what's the few principles inside of this book that can really help somebody?
One of the things, that's why it's just a perfect perfect for your show is no excuses. There are people that go through things. We've all gone through things. You recently had death in your family. I've lost both my parents. You know, when the sun shines and when the rain comes, it rains on the good and the bad, the rich and the poor, the black and the white. It's like you got to come with no excuses. Mm-hmm. So when you take a moment, and to me, that's why this pandemic that we're still in, and for somebody, they still have a chance to stop and take a look at yourself. You're your own competition, so you're not competing with anybody else. During those years, I wasn't competing trying to be Ray or trying to be an NFL player. My only competition was myself. And so if you're a school teacher, a doctor, a lawyer, whatever the case may be, this is a journey that you just stop and you take a look, understanding that you got to take all the excuses out. That's the first thing. Second thing, you got to identify that you are triunity, meaning you're not just a body, okay? You are a spirit, you live in a body, and you have a mind. And so most people just work on one part of their being. Our philosophy is spend time in all three parts of your being to keep balance. So if you're coming to me to lose 20 pounds, that's great, we could lose 20 pounds. But I think one of the reasons, Ray, that I want America's Favorite Trainer is because people got more out of that. They came to camp, they lost the weight, but they became better people. And that's what it's all about. I can be in shape all day, but if my mindset is corrupt, lacking integrity, character, and that's when you look good on the outside, but when you come home, it's hard to sleep at night. And so that's what we talk about. We talk about the body is just like a house. You could paint it, you could put lipstick on it, you could put lashes on it, you could put paint on it, new door, whatever the case may be. You could paint it, but it won't change what's on the inside. Mm-hmm. And so when we were men, 20 years ago, man, we found that because that was an empty part of our life. Yeah. And so what we're telling people, yes, let's get healthy. Let's get stronger. Let's lose the weight. But also, how can we impact people in a positive way? Yeah. And that's one of the most important things. So this book is about, I got no excuses. I'm not competing with nobody else. I need to be healthy, not just in my body, but in my mind and my spirit. My environment matters. Who am I around? What am I really listening to? The things that I'm listening to, does it really affect what's happening to me? The things that I'm watching on TV, how does that affect me? Mm-hmm. And so when you grow like we did, we never watched TV, bro. We had no idea what was going on in the news. No idea. Because we were that locked in. But if we're getting ready to work out and I got on some music that I'm listening to that's trying to help me escape from the life that I just left, then I can't feed that into my mind. And so maybe for someone that's out there listening, this could be a transformation moment where you start to say, you know what? I'm not perfect. There are some things that I can work on, and no one is perfect. If you're perfect, this book isn't for you. This book is for people that say, you know what? Before I try to change the world, before I try to change my family, let me start with me as a person. What am I not doing to make myself better? And change it. And then discover your purpose and then go fulfill it.
It's so crazy. I ain't going to jump in and tell all the little secrets and stuff because we have a lot of episodes. As you know, Monte is going to be, he's going to be a regular guest on the show as we kind of jump into it, and we'll jump into that a little later. But it's really interesting when he hits on the point of if you're working out and you're listening to the wrong things. We got to a point to where we started training and not one song had a curse word in it. Not one. And so what's interesting about that is when we were in there, even though there were some songs that we liked, right, a lot, because they had beats and we were into it and we were excited about hearing it. But once we started to get into that point where you had to challenge yourself, and you know what I'm talking about. You go in the weight room, you hear people talking about, ugh, and they doing all this training and all this, and we created something. Breathe through that Ain't no need of making all that noise. But if you got the wrong music playing, if you don't have the right influence going into your ears, which then affects your mind, it's going to be impossible for you to push through that last rep, that 5th rep, that 20th rep. And I'm telling you, it forever changed the way, even I ride my bike to this day, right? And I rode my bike yesterday because I'm just trying to get, just trying to keep grieving and just trying to get it all out. And it'll never get out. And when I realized that, I turned my music off, right? And you know what I did, T, yesterday? And me and you talk every day. But I just listened to silence. And I listened to the stroke of my pedal. And I listened to my breath and how I was breathing. And even though music is great sometimes when you're working out, sometimes just working out with your mind in complete silence, which we have done many a times, but when you have the right music in your ears, then I went to my gospel playlist, right? Who has inspirational songs mixed into it, but it just has no curse words in it. Mm-hmm. And I switched it over, T, and I'm telling you the strength. And then, of course, as soon as I got off the bike, I was like, Coach, you wouldn't believe this. but it's everything that you're teaching, brother. And that's why I think the excitement for me going on this journey with you is the same journey that we've been on for 20 years.
But nobody ever told us that and the importance of it. We just kind of think, if you just got on music and you riding to the store, riding to work, or you working out with it, that it has no significance in your life. And the book will help you understand that it does. You ever heard something on the radio, and then after the song was going off, now you saying it or you humming it because it got inside of your spirit. And so the focus that we had to have, when you're doing 12 miles a day on that sand, and you're doing it with 2,000 reps on your abs, every little bit of energy that you need matter. And so even if I could get through the workout, man, if my mind and my spirit wasn't right, that would be a problem. And we probably wouldn't have lasted. If I would have been coming in there and still ready to live the life that I had just left, it wouldn't have worked out. But just so happened you was bouncing, trying to get balance within your spirit, and so was I. And I talk about that along the way. Man, I was running 7 to 8 miles a day, working out, didn't know what I was going to do, walked off my job, and then I met you a year later. And I tell that story. So I was prepared for that one moment, but I didn't know what that moment was. I just had faith. It might be somebody out there right now that's just working and seem like they don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. But I'm here to tell you, if you just keep working and believe, God will present an opportunity for you, and everything that you work for will make a difference.
Man, you make me want to get into these stories so bad, but I will not get into all the stories. I just will not get into them because it's just too many. It is too many. Brother, look, I'm really excited, man. I was excited the day you told me you were starting to work on this book project. And even when I sat down to write the foreword and spoke to the young lady that was writing the book, the first thing she said out of her mouth, she was like, "You and Monte sound exactly the same." Like, and I'm like, and I told her, I said, when you're around someone, as much as we around each other and as much as we talk, me and Coach, we have something really special. Brother, listen, man, congratulations on the book. I am super excited. I'm going to read it and sit my butt down and just go through it because it's the history of what we put together, and it's just going to be exciting. But I want to transition to what's happening next. What are we about to get into, and what the Ray Lewis Show is transitioning to. Every week, we won't have a guest every other week, but we will have a guest whenever I feel that it's right to have a guest. Our goal, our mission is really simple. I want to make sure that every time I get on this show, that somebody's life is changed or changing. When they hear something, they can grab it, they can use it. And that's why me and Coach, because we talk every day, I mean, maybe a few days because we're both busy with family, but we talk every day. And there's so many principles that have brought us this far, 20 years, and we're still with each other. And this mentality, this lifestyle that we created is a championship mentality. And that's what's starting next week. The whole format will be changed, but everything is about the championship mentality. And everybody can have one. I'm not, this is just not winning Super Bowls. This is just not winning NBA championships and MLB championships. This is how do you champion your way through life? How do you pick yourself up? Why? While missing a pass or missing a tackle. See, sometimes in life, we forget when the direction tells us to go one way and we go the opposite way. See, that's the same decisions that happens in sports that you only see from a television. But now we're talking about how do you champion your way through life? How do you make sure that you're on the championship path? Remember, the destination, it takes care of itself. It's the journey that we want to walk with you with. It's the journey that we want you to understand the ups and downs, the peaks and valleys of life. And this championship mentality with my brother, it's what we live every day. And every day we talk, we've been talking about this for years. We've been saying this for years, bro. We got to do this. We got to do that. But what we've done is create a foundation of a lifestyle that gives us credibility, not about anything else, but about how do you overcome? How do you keep going? How do you find yourself around the right people? How do you listen to the right things? How do you feed your spirit with the right things that should be fed in the spirit? This is why me and Coach, we're starting this next week, and it's going to be so impactful. T, you kind of jump into it to kind of tell them where we're going with the principles and how once a week we're going to give them a principle and go from there. I'm really excited. And this right here is just really exciting me right now. Go ahead, T.
It's just like you said, man. It's called championship mentality. Yeah. And every week we're going to be giving out principles and rules of success that'll help you in no matter what field of endeavor you're in, whether you're a banker or a teacher, whatever your profession is. First of all, even understanding that you are a champion. A champion, you cannot be declared a champion unless you're in a battle. And I believe that everybody is in a battle, a personal battle. Yeah. Some private battles, some secret battles. And this show is going to give you principles and what it's going to take in order for you to overcome that so you could be declared a champion. And so if you're struggling with something, then now you're eligible. You're eligible to join us for championship mentality, giving you principles and rules of success that have worked for us, and we just want to share them with the world.
Yeah, and what's funny is because of this championship mentality and everything that I have been teaching, if you've been continually joining this show, there are no excuses to it. The ups and downs of this roller coaster, there are no excuses. Figure it out. In winning and losing in life, there's a lesson to be learned.
You got to take ownership.
You got to take ownership.
And full responsibility.
Full responsibility.
Join this ride with us. I hope that we'll see you next week. I appreciate you getting the book today. It's on Amazon. Again, The Power of You versus You.com. And I'm excited already for next week to launch this championship mentality, because for far too long, we've either had people that felt like either they're not worthy to be a champion. Like, being a champion doesn't mean you have to be crowned in public.
No.
I mean, think about the life of Moses' mother. All she did was have him and put him away where he wouldn't get killed. And she was a great woman because of that. Yeah. Whatever it is that God has assigned you to do in life, that's why it's so important that you are the center of this. You are unique. There's no one that has come to this world that's like you, and there was no one that will leave this world like you. You got your own fingerprints. You got your own foot fingerprints. There's not one leaf that's the same on any tree. No tree is not the same. Every snowflake is different. Every fingerprint is different. Almost 7.5 billion people, and there's none like yours. And that's why we say it is you versus you. And find your uniqueness, the champion within you, and edify the mentality so you can really fulfill your purpose and your destiny in peace and with grace.
Yeah, because of the one thing that brought us to this place. Don't look at where we are now. You have to know where we came from. And we held each other accountable. That was the one thing that we did for each other, is we held each other. So even if you're going along this ride, I'm just going to be brutally honest with you. And he's right here. Coach is right here sitting in front of me. I don't accomplish a lot of those things if God does not set up this meeting between me and this man. I don't know what I don't know how far I go, but I tell you what I do know. Iron does sharpen iron. And I'm telling you about this, brother. We sharpened each other. And still to this day, Monte is 52 years old.
53.
50, that's right. 53 years old.
Yeah, I'm proud to say it now.
My boy, 53 years old. I'm 45. And what we started when I was 25, it's what we're still doing to this day, my brother. Yeah. So I'm telling you, it's absolutely amazing. And what's funny is, right, me leaving my father's services and me talking to my brothers and sisters and everybody, right, and they're looking at me like, oh my gosh, like you, and I'm like, it's not football, it's not sports, it's who I am, it's what I believe in, it's the people I'm around, right? It's the affirmations that I give myself daily, right? Monte said this earlier, Coach said this earlier. There's no such thing, right, as a perfect person. So, and I've been saying this over and over, weekly. We don't need you perfect. We need to meet you exactly where you are. And if you're looking to find that spark, which we all have inside of us, join us next week for Championship Mentality, as we built out 52 principles, which is 365 days, which is a full year, that we want you to follow this journey. And at the end of this journey, you will be able to dictate your path going forward.
Wow.
And that's what life's about. That's what life's about. If you're going to speak, if you're going to influence anyone, right? The good book says power of life and death is found in the tongue. And we're going to get into this next week, but it's a reason why me and Coach, to this day, 20 years ago, gave up cursing. It's a reason we gave it up. And that's just one small thing, but it's big. It's small, but it's big. And it is. It's bigger than you think. Go ahead.
And when you're growing, remember now, we said we're becoming, because it's still there. You could have a Kirk Franklin moment if somebody really push you there.
Right.
You know, so it's still there. It's just contained.
Right.
And again, just really your environment matters, and what you listening to. If I'm listening to it, eventually I'm gonna say it. Yeah. If I'm watching it, eventually it's gonna come out of me. And so there come a point when you've been contaminated for 25, 30 years of your life, you got to reprogram yourself. So I couldn't be in and out. I couldn't be, okay, let me pray to God, but let me put on this type of music. Like we really had to let all that go. Yeah. So that we could get that out of our system, or to a point that it can be controlled, and then add other stuff in it that aligns with where we're going. And we did it, bro. We went from the struggles to a statue. And that's amazing to me. Yeah. And it's a lot of hard work, and they'll hear about it. They'll hear about the stories, but a lot of people have no idea what it takes to get where you had got to. And I can't wait to share those stories.
It's going to be priceless, bro. Listen, man, I appreciate you. I'm telling you, bro, I love you.
Love forever, for life, bro.
For life, boy. We all know this has been a hard week for me, and this right here just helped me keep going and keep breathing it out. And I'm not the only one going through pain or loss, right? COVID in this time has threw some hard blows at a lot of people. But I tell you, if your foundation is right and you got the right people around you, you can make it through anything. And so keep going, no matter what you're going through. Keep going and carry the people that's not here in your heart. And that's simply by being the example. Father, I'll see you again, but me and Monte still got some work to do. And I can see him right now doing them jump ropes with that headband around his.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He always kept that headband out. And you know when he come out and pull them pants up right up below.
Oh my God. He's the only one that could do your dance the way you do it.
Hey,
what an amazing man.
Yeah.
We're going to honor him with the rest of our life, man.
We will. We're going to honor him. Coach, listen, man. I love you, brother. This was amazing. Let's get ready for next week, man. Let's get ready for this 52-week journey of really not only changing somebody else's life. Don't let us fool you. We ain't just talking about changing somebody else's life. We're going to change at the same time. So we're going on the same journey together. So, brother, I love you, man. Take care of yourself. I'll be calling you in like 30 seconds as soon as we get
All right. Love for life, man. Take care.
I appreciate you. All right, Coach.
Yes, sir.
That's you need in times of trials and times of loss, you need laughter. You need a lot of different aspects of what makes life like life. What makes life, right? We know that one day we all have to go. You just never prepare to lose a parent. But when you lose a daddy as funny as mine,
yeah, man.
And every day I get up and look in the mirror and realize that, oh, you're him. And one of the pastors, he spoke at the funeral and he said, and I'll leave you with this. He said, if you ever wanted to remember a piece of ELBERT, get up and look in the mirror every day, and he will never be lost. And I looked around at my sisters and brothers, and I looked around at my kids and their kids, and I said, my gosh, that man Jeans was so strong. And now I know, because when you do look in the mirror, you see a reflection of who my father was. One of the greatest men I've ever met, one of the greatest men I've ever spent time with. And he will forever be remembered. And I'm really excited to move on to the next chapter and carry him in my heart and honor him in so many different ways. Thank you for joining. Buckle up for next week. Me and Coach coming back on this year journey. We're going to go on a year journey. One principle a week, one life a day. One life a day. And it's not for us just to change one life a day. It's for you to be the example that may influence one life to change just by watching you. God bless you. Thank you for coming out again. Thank you for joining the Ray Lewis Show. And you know, it's not only about everyday greatness, it's absolutely about no excuses in life, not to wake up every day and be a better person. God bless you. Take care.